This is for trapboy Freddy. I want to let him know something. Why I'm not being let go from court, because I want them to hear me. And I want them to know why that my situation keep going on. They know you fucking with a lot of shit that's going on. You're fucking with a lot of conflict. Dallas, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Trump and them been watching me since I left Atlanta. They understand I got something. And they understand this can affect the whole music industry if this leaves America. And they have a lot of sneaky shit that's going on right now. What the mayor did and everybody else that did to me right now, the senators and them going to court since Boosie lied and put my life in danger. So since Boosie lied and put my life in danger, since I had the let me tell you something. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about me, but since Boosie lied and said I work for the feds, it put my life in danger, and I had to attack the Social Security issue. But they trying to save my life because of what Boosie have done. Let me tell you what I told every prison. I told the president to tell every prison, everybody. God said, even if you don't believe in me, truth and honesty is being given. I didn't just call DJ Envy. I called Rockefeller. Go listen to the song called All Day by Kanye West called Rockefeller. When I was at that Galleria Mall, I was dating somebody that was at Wendy's. Okay? There's a lot of people involved in this situation. And every police that stopped me, they don't know they losing a badge. They don't know Dallas police and all the rest of them and anybody that got the nerves to step over bound will get their ass in trouble. You know, I don't break the law. You won't catch me doing anything beyond that thing. Okay? But let me tell you something. You're stepping over bound. You're messing with a lot of look at I was on different apps promoting. And I was talking from people from Paris and all over, okay, about my ideas. And Trump was watching. Paris and London. This is going to affect everybody by y'all being selfish and lying. Now, I'm trying to play nice and be honest and trying to and do these things, but y'all don't want to be not honest and nice. Y'all want to be cutthroat and lie and this and that. I told the Justice Department, I told the civil rights and I told socialists because y'all want to resort to violence. And I want to do this in a right where it's not causing conflict. You stole something and you're trying to do it again. I know this business. So you know what I did? On Live Nation. So people come in here for me and Yellow Breeze and want to be racist and everybody want to call me out my name. I filed a racial complaint. Since racism and hip hop in Dallas, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. What happened in Addison, Texas, in there, I got an apartment, a business that was right in Addison, right by the election. Every street nigga, they was standing in there with their trucks in that business place. Y'all was misbehaving yourself. Let me tell you something else. The protective services, the police, they was misbehaving themselves too. They was filing me since the court. Let me tell you, since Boosie have lied and the rest of them have lied, let me tell you what's going on. And I want you to know this is a true story. They are talking about drug cartels and doing all of this since this conflict have started. Okay? I'm telling you, what's have started and boosting them told lies, and he doing all this. Since MO3 manager, Yellow Breeze manager, said something on the phone the other day. Who's Obama? You a pussy. That means you calling the Justice Department and everybody on CNN and then that was watching me. I asked the New York governor who that had to step down in 2008 and 2019 to speak up because he gave me leadership advice. Those things when they was putting bodies in the Dallas music thing, when they was putting bodies over there in the nursing home, that was my idea. But let me tell you something, you're messing with a lot of people money and you don't understand what's at stake here. Y'all want to be selfish and conflict. This don't got nothing. I can leave Texas and this will have nothing to do with Texas. But they trying to clean up Boosie mess. Boosie and MO3 and the rest of the bullshit that's been going on. I want you to pay attention because if you don't stop, this is going to be a whole conflict that you're not going to be able to get yourself out of. And going to have armies and national guards. You're messing with a lot of people's stuff and you're messing, you're conflict with a lot of fun. Let me tell you, Trapboy Freddy, I don't know, you so busy doing music in the United States and doing music all over that you don't know how to handle business. And business, this don't cause you to do business this in America. When I go on the Texas music website, office website, it just got shows in Texas. Me, I'm so big, and I have talked to people on Live Me, Big Live, all the rest of these other broadcasters. I have been on Poker Chat. I have been everywhere. I have talked to people. When you go to Instagram and go on it, I have a lot of Instagram. I met a girl from Cuba, Mexico. I have talked to a lot of people all over the place. These kids are coming from Mexico because of my ideas that I can create a lot of jobs for them. And I think Joe Biden already knows it. They already know the impact that I made and why these kids are coming here from the bird of Cuba and everybody. This is going to create a lot of jobs for Mexicans. Imagine this blueprint being built in Mexico. You know how much more money the drug test, everybody's going to be able to make money. This is going to bring billions overseas. Trump already said 15 charge people from Paris and London 10-15% of what you just want business in Texas and overseas and different. We're talking about go to Lil Wayne when Lil Wayne got go to Yo Gotti when Yo Gotti doing stuff overseas. We're talking about conflict. I have talked to people from Iraq, not just on Likey, on all the rest of this stuff. I have been networked. Let me tell you, when I came back from Atlanta and I was on probation, and I had to get the reason why I got off of probation early because they didn't want conflict. You don't know a damn thing of what's going on. So I'm trying to play nice with everybody in the community. And y'all playing clueless by listening to Yellow Breeze and y'all. I'm trying to play nice here. I'm trying us to come to an honest understanding here. And y'all want to lie and talk about somebody. Let me tell you when I was in Dallas County. Oh, you give it to, I'm going to rob them. You're messing with a lot of people money. And you don't understand the conflict that you have started by lying. I get this pack up my bags and leave. But it's not as that as simple as Senator Ted and Governor Abbott them knows about the situation. And the prosecutor, they talking to each other. It is not that hard to know about the situation that's going on. It's something that Judge Kennedy did not know. I'm going to tell you why I got incompetent. I got incompetent from the courthouse because I didn't want to see I was the CEO of Walmart. Okay, I can talk about a digital. All right, I'm going to tell you another thing. When I'm on social media and I'm on different platforms, I already had to talk about this year before last, and I had to make sure me and the Justice Department come to a good understanding about how Damon Miller them stole my ideas for the vans and the numbers that's on the letters. If I was calling Walmart this is all what's going on in Carrollton, Texas, and why the library, the people at the Walmart, the Carrollton Library in Carrollton on Marsh, they dropped me off at the library because I was already going to the library reading books already. It tells you on every social media platform do you go on and get on before you. If I had Walmart corporate office in my phone and I had Jessica number in my phone, it tells you, do you want your phone contacts to connect with your social media contacts? That everybody from your phone contacts will know that you're on social media. It tells you on your tablet, it tells you everything that you do you know? I want you to go and say dark money. One of the senators was talking about dark. I'm sorry, this have got out of control. Dark money from overseas. You have no idea of what you're getting yourself into. But let me tell you, I know what I was getting I know that God had bigger plans for me when y'all decided to do what y'all did to me. And I know God had bigger plans for me besides the trickery and I don't got no problem with the cops. They racist. I have no problems with them. And sometimes I had to file a civil rights complaint. I have no problems with them. We understand racism involved probably with some of them. But mostly we might don't understand. Sometimes when God told Moses to tell his people to paint the wall blood, because you know the non-believer, you know why God took the spirit out of Moses' brother's son? Because he was going to be the threat to the empire to years to come. And these things had to go in the kind of way that we had to understand these things. But I want you to understand these things in a way that you need to understand these things. That he was going to teach his kid racism. And God couldn't allow those things to happen. God can allow those racism to happen. I'm on Trapboy Freddy website. When I came back from Atlanta, I started communicating with everybody. This is not petty money here. This is something I did right. And Kevin Gates been communicating with me on things. Let me tell you, Takeoff. Cardi B sent Takeoff. When Cardi B said, hold up, my bitch can do you, I can do better than your bitch, she was I mean. And it was so fucked up. I'm so mad how this situation ended. Where Yellow Breezy want to be a conniving bitch. And I'm so mad that Takeoff had to go. I'm so fucking mad about the situation that's going on. But I've been communicating. And I'm so pissed the fuck off. Because Yellow Breezy with his lying piece of shit. They was watching me from the beginning. Let me tell you what's going to go on. Because right now I'm suing Yellow Breezy and them in the state of Texas. I'm going to tell you what's going to go on in the courtroom. And I want I want everybody to tell y'all friends. God want everybody to tell y'all friends. God wants you to tell your friends. God wants to, what was I about to say? When we go to court and we take Dallas and the industry to court and we take everybody that's sitting up there lying, they're going to want to know how. They're going to argue. Yellow Breezy is going to argue about the situation. And he's going to say, I'm going to tell you what he's going to say. He's going to say, they lying, they don't have nothing. But we're going to go to punchlines. And what we can do, we can go to my social media and they can give you my social media when I was talking about the blueprint. They can give you my social media when I was calling Rockefeller and all the rest of them. They can give you my phone numbers when I call I didn't just call, I call iHeartRadio, I call the Breakfast, I call iHeartRadio, I call the New York networks up in there. Go listen to the song all day. Jay-Z, the one that sent Kanye West, and Trump already knows about it. Conflict is when you lie. Let me tell you what's going to happen in that courtroom. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen while the civil suit is going on. They're going to show cars videos when CNN was throwing punchlines at me. They didn't mention my name. The New York governor didn't mention my name. None of them. They throw punchlines at me. Nobody has to mention your name to make you the topic of conversation. So why Yellow Breezy manager talking all of that bullshit and he's saying, oh, who's Obama? You all right? If you say who Obama is, all right, now tell the Justice Department that you had the balls to talk shit. Now tell sitting in the nose, go in the preacher when the preacher's talking about you think your son is a gift. I want you to pay attention to the past events. But you're trying to get kids and everybody, every nigga that don't have the same believe in me, and you're trying to trickery and deceive and do all of this. You go to royalties. Let me tell you what this kid in Judge Kennedy program. He got so mad to get people to turn. He tried to intimidate me and make me back down. Let me tell you what that kid from Judge Kennedy program is going to do. That person, he tried to make it seem like I was a liar because he wanted. He's going to go in there. He's wanting and make me look like I'm the bad guy, I'm the liar because he up to something. You go to Texas, you talk about royalties. Everybody's so busy trying to trick people. You go to P. Diddy album called Press Play. You know why P. Diddy and DJ Khaled haven't came here yet? He see the conniving shit. Why Rick Ross haven't came here? Why Queen Latifah haven't came in? Taylor Swift. Trust have not been given. But don't lie, yo, Jay. I've been talking to people since 2019. When I got snuck over a religion. But that didn't stop me from communicating with everybody else. I wouldn't want to let that snuck stop me from communicating with everybody else. That didn't stop me from trying. And that was should matter the most when you putting yourself out there in that jailhouse and you able to just put it all out there on the line and just the dangers that come with it, but you're able to talk to people about your ideas. And I risk everything just for the street niggas and everybody in Dallas County to just hear my ideas out. And I wanted them to hear me, even though they don't want to listen and it's hard for everybody to listen. I risked everything to get my idea out there in that Dallas County jail in 2019. I know I was going to hit or what I was going to do, but also I was talking to people, even though the jail is not going to allow it to happen. Imagine if the jailhouse tell something down and build a studio while you're in the prison, the jail, and you put a recording studio up in there and we can record. That can be another activity that you can do. You already got basketball. You already got all the rest of these things. But while you're in Dallas County, you can record music in there. Everybody said, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. When Yellow Breeze and them left, I already know Yellow Breezy was going to, when I got out of jail, I already know Yellow Breezy dumbass was going to come back here. I was a step ahead of Yellow Breezy every time. When he told MO3 he was a liar and y'all sit up there with that bitch. I'm not like you. There's a reason why MO3 talked about me in inboxes and he didn't say my name because he know y'all dumbass don't believe. And you know what that lady said? Something bad was going to happen. I watched everything what was going on. And I think the people in power, go listen to one of the senators from the other state and talk about a person of interest. And he talking about me socializing. But it does not mean that just because you throw a punchline at me, trapboy and Freddy, that I'm going to come. Trust has been broken, God said. Trust has been broken. And the more I catch on to your spirit, the more I do all of these things, Just like when I was in South Dallas the other day, I had no problems with everybody in that restaurant. I have no problems when I was sitting by that barber shop and over there. They didn't do me nothing wrong, but at these people are not knowledge about what they know. I'm supposed to get 3,500 for you don't have no idea of what I'm talking about. My seed was already planted from one apartment to another apartment while I stayed in Addison. It was already planted. You talk about a rap contract, you get 3,500 for each of your songs. And it comes to you when you get out of jail. It talks about go to the Texas Music Office. It talks about royalties. It talks about all of these matters and these things matter. But since since I signed the contract from Walmart, I'm gonna tell you, trap boy, I don't want beef with you, but I don't want those things with you. And since I got stuff going on with Walmart and all the rest of these things, and I have to deal with Doug Miller, and I have to deal with y'all, and the senators is and just and the prosecutor is just don't want to let this go because it'll cause conflict through all America, and they trying to clean up the stuff that Boosie did. I was trying to attack the issues with Social Security, and Boosie lied. So let me tell you what's going on. You see those things that's going on, and they discussing things. They're discussing that. That means to keep me safe from the lies because I attacked the Social Securities, to stop my life from being put in danger, they got to do what they need to do. Because a lot is going on. My main thing was to attack the Social Security issues that treated me bad. And the way everybody want to know why my money keep going to the politics, the community. Let me tell you why my money going up. My money going, I called the Atlanta Senator Assistant Office. I found out I got a caseworker. Everybody in every case in every state, I have a caseworker that's working on a call about what happened. And I have to wait about them calling me retarded, calling me out of my name, and doing all of these things. When y'all was in the community in Carrollton, let me tell you in Carrollton, Texas, we're going to talk. You scared of your brother MO3. You this and that, stupid, retarded out the cars. Filing, let me tell you what the crimes you have done. And I want you to know, street takeover, filing about intimidation and terrorism, just like y'all doing right now, but y'all filing in packs. What was going on at that Taco Bell in Carrollton? Y'all kept going around and around and around to put fear in me. Let me tell you, you're messing with a lot of things. Step your game up, gang members. Step it up. Be professional. I'm telling you to step it up. God telling you to step it up. When I go to the Texas Music Office, they talk about shows in the Texas office, and you make it. I'm talking about making it global. I'm about to get ready at the end of the month to get my passport. I don't have to deal with this shit. I got music. I got all of these things that, the reason why I'm still promoting my music, even though somebody in Dallas, a model, a black bitch from Dallas got Tamir's tablet, you know what I had to say? Fuck it. Me and Rick, I had to let Rick know that was in a little cliff in Dallas, and I told Rick, watch out for people. When I was in South Dallas with Samantha not too long ago, and I told Samantha, hold up, even though me and her had friendship, let me tell you what me and Marissa used to do and Samantha used to do. And before anything of this happened, and I have to explain myself to a lot of people, we used to sit up in the house while we were calling, we used to cook. We used to chill. We didn't used to be outside. We used to enjoy each other. We didn't go out there and start beef with anybody. We used to record, watch movies, cook up stuff, do all of these things. Ricky told me someone was sitting outside of Mirza's house when all this was going on, and Mirza couldn't answer his door in Carrollton, Texas. And he said, Hubert, you ain't never picked up a book. Let me tell you, when I was at Newman Smith, nobody knew when I'm behind doors at Newman Smith High School. And I didn't just took music, I took theater class. So I wanted to show everybody when you see me on TikTok and YouTube, I took theater class at Newman Smith. And everybody on Trey app, Yellow Breeze, and then y'all put that's my app that you putting it on. I created that Trey app. But I'm gonna tell the Justice Department why I created that and whoever took my idea and why I created that app. I created that app because I wanted people to be trill and I wanted the people to not ever be blocked up for music content. And they doing it. That means the owner of the trill app that took my idea, that talking about content, and you let other artists not be, let us fans be creative with the work, that can create a lot of problems. Thank y'all. I was able to show my album cover to the people in Delhi of me and Mirza. Mirza made an album cover. I was signed to, let me tell you something. Tum Tum probably don't even remember me. And when we set up in the house with Miss Unique, and while he was doing music, I remember being on the phone with Miss Unique, Spark Dog on MySpace, and hearing them talk. Rhino from Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy is big in Texas. And Rhino say on MySpace that I didn't go hard. And Charlie Boy was communicating with Mirza. So we decided to come up with an album called God Gonna Have to Bless You on MySpace. And Rhino and Charlie Boy, everybody, if you don't know who Charlie Boy is in Texas, you don't know nothing. Spark Dog was throwing drops down. The reason why y'all was on 7 Up and all the rest of y'all babies, the reason why y'all was on song, because me and Sabina was breaking up. Let me tell you the arguments that me and Marissa Sabina. I want everybody, because everybody was talking about state, and that I told these kids, the reason why I told them, I gave them ideas in Dallas County, and I told them, and they said I wasn't dumb, and I told them this. And I said, and I want to tell them more, it's the belief system. I don't want to hang with y'all right now because it's the belief system. It's going to cause conflict. We need to keep our distance away from each other because there's so much deception going on. And I wanted to tell them more as we meet on a jet one day. We do anything. And I was praying to God because I didn't want to get taken off of my mission. There's other issues that I needed to address. And I was telling God, I was sitting up there when they was in their cell, God, don't let them take me off my mission. We have so much to do. I sat in that cell and I was like, God, do not let me take him off my mission. Because I told this Social Security and I told everybody got a belief system. And I know y'all street niggas standing up for what y'all believe in. Y'all got a belief system. But this is conflict here and what I'm trying to deal with. They trying to clean up Boosie lies. So please stop. Please stop. And I had other issues going on with Social Security. They trying to clean up Boosie lies to stop my life because this person got out and he wanted to lie with MO3 and talking about I'm a liar and a criminal and stole that blueprint. DJ Envy told you got the blue money, right? You don't know nothing. The synonym Joe Trump was watching me since Atlanta. Everybody in Atlanta jail cell was watching me. Some of the people, the guards, I caught on to it when I was leaving. They know who I was. But let me tell you, you know what people in Atlanta, Clinton County told me? Even though I got into arguments with some, and don't forget this your home too, their mindset is different from y'all's. And, you know, they don't just sit up there and punch. When the security guard sent people in Atlanta to fight me, to fight that other dude in there, you know what I told them? No, I didn't want to fight, and they put their hand down. I'm not trying to prove that I'm tough with anybody. I don't want to prove that I'm tough. I want y'all to hear me out about my ideas. That's all I want. I want Dallas and Oak Cliff, and that might be hard because other people in this, y'all call me stupid in Carrollton, all of these things. The DA don't know what was said. The prosecutors, the Dallas police, and the Carrollton people don't know what was said out there. And I'm suing McDonald's right now because Brittany and Brittany of McDonald's and them called me stupid and retarded. And right now, I told McDonald's, I told her, since I filed a complaint, it should not be that hard to get my money from McDonald's. And while I was filing a complaint with the Attorney General, after I made my complaint about the Browns and all that in 2019, and my lawyer didn't want to do nothing. He talked about the tax dollar. The DEA agent came looking at me wrong. I saw their facial expression after I made my complaint. Now, this was the stop. I don't want no confusion with anybody. I want everybody to hear me. We are going to have a draft. We're going to please listen. Because I can go to Paris after I get my justice, live, and do all of these things. I don't even have to put up with that. I don't even have to go in every hood and tell people about my ideas. And Trump know this. When I came back to Atlanta, I started, me and this other guy, we worked at 1216 together. He was a car pusher and he worked at Kroger's. And he do music in Dallas, Texas. And we had Newman Smith, he worked together. Even the guy, one of the kids that know my cousin Big Nick, and he went to Newman Smith with me, and he's been hot. And I tell him all of his birthday, and I tell him something, and I tell him, dude, when his birthday came up, he's been hot since MySpace, a long time ago, but people never seen him in that light. When I was doing music, he was doing music, and nobody never actually got to see him and his music be out there. And I got him on my Facebook. He's from Dallas, and he went to Newman Smith High School. And every time I tell him, you've been hot, you've been doing your thing, because he had been hot. His numbers was blowing up on MySpace. When our numbers was blowing up on MySpace, his number was blowing up. But as we grow, some people always not going to make it because they're not networking as enough. They're not networking as enough. So, I'm going to tell you something. When I know a Diamond, I've been around Diamond, where I got this tattoo on my hand of Sabina and Diamond cousin. I know it was going to be conflict. I know when I watched it a long time ago, I saw a message on Mirza's phone when a guy talking about you use everybody. And this is my Justin Timberlake by Lil Wayne. And me and Sabina, we communication off of music. And I'm gonna tell you, when we used to chill at the park, and I remember Lil Diamond, Sabina's mom used to tell me, don't do nothing. I had to gain their trust. And me understanding the trust I had to gain between Sabina's mom and dad, and I stayed around because I wanted to gain their trust. And let me tell you something. When I used to sit up in the house, we older now, and I don't, and we all us older now, and I used to sit up in the house, and Mirza used to close the door, and we just sit up in the house the whole together. And I wanted to gain the trust of Sabina's mom. And I didn't want nothing to interact with that bond, because they at that point, they trust me everything to me. They don't even know they trust, and gaining the trust of them, it means everything to me. And I acted the way I acted because I know that I have to gain y'all trust. And that was the most important thing in my relationship. What I had to do when I was with Sabina when we was kids, and what I had to do. When I was at 2996, one of Sabina's family members came up there that was married, one of their cousins, and said, Hubert, you have grown. Tabitha and them came in there and said, Hubert, we miss you. And Xavier was jealous. I had to take care of all, But I had the message again, the Justice Department. Let me tell you, I came up with another idea as well. Walmart is going to be able to, creativity of Walmart is going to be able to change the electronics platform. It's going to be where artists is, Walmart digital music app is going to be able to create. Trapboy Freddy, you big, right? You big and you big and this and that. Imagine you talking to the Walmart CEOs and you been on Walmart and you putting your CDs in Walmart and you able to talk to people in that format. And you have your videos, your content, everything was able to be in Walmart. And this not your album. We're gonna have a Walmart digital download. We're just not gonna be able to buy albums. You're gonna be able to digital download the albums. On every Walmart corporate office, Walmart center, we're gonna have a TV on the interest, a big interest on every Walmart Supercenter TV. When you walk in Trapboy Freddy, I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm not trying to do none of that. But y'all was wrong for what y'all did. And the senator and them already know this is why they're not letting me go. This is a lot more going on in this situation that you think is going on. And the gang members laughing. They doing this to stop Boosie lies. And Yellow Breeze and them lies since he lied what he lied to. You have no idea what you getting yourself into. Just because you throw a punchline on me and your guy to say I'm crying over petty money don't mean nothing. But other people don't believe the things that I believe because they're so busy trying to do trickery and conniving. My mission was to, if any hood don't want me to be in there, if y'all don't want me, be like that then. But I told J.D. Jackson and everybody from different churches, come on, make my dreams come true. Because I know we can work together. The guy from Marvel, the wingman of Captain America, he told me to look out for different racial profile. And I seen that as a foot in the door of him throwing punchline at me. He didn't mention my name, but I seen it as a fit in the foot door. And I realized I have to keep that relationship of what he told me in the interview different way. He plays on the side of Captain America. If I want to get it, because I took drama, let's keep, and I say, hold up, let's keep that foot in the door. Let's keep that. And he didn't mention my name. He threw the punchline. And he was talking, look out for different racial profile. And I said, he's with Marvel, and he playing on the side of Captain America. And I said, that's my foot in the door right now, not to get on his bad side, because people depend on him in Marvel. And let me keep that relationship, that bind tight and not cross that line with him. And that was the most thing what I'm trying to do when Queen Latifah, the Wendy show, you come by yourself and I promise you have a good time. The Wendy throw the punchline, Queen Latifah, Tyrese say, Tyrese will throw the punch, these hoes ain't going anywhere. But I had to keep everything in line. Look at the mess that Boosie then started. Look at the mess that Yellow Breeze and everybody started. By y'all lying in the community of Dallas and Oak Cliff and at that mall. They was watching me the whole time. Yellow Breeze and manager say, who's Obama? All right, let's get the Senate. Let's get them on CNN and in the news. When Capitol Hill to all that fake acting. When the news station was throwing punchline and told me I had anger. I don't have anger issues. I have passion. And I know how to calm myself down. So let's get to these things. When Talented Tim say we might drop the charges. When the mayor said I don't believe in the system, you little motherfucker. You will have no idea. There are people from overseas watching me. You know, let me tell you something. When they talk about us, you got fans on. I got fans on everybody. You know what people was telling me in California? And this guy said, Hubert, when I was telling him about my challenge, and I told him, hold up, he picked this Mexican guy. He's an American, but he do fences. And I said he was telling me about the people that they don't like to listen and do all of this. And I told him if I worked for him, I would keep on trying and I would listen to you every time and keep trying to do what I need to do to let you say, Hubert, I hope you make it. But one thing he told me, if I don't be a fan or follow you, don't take it on Big Live. I was on different apps. My fan base is bigger than that. Let me tell you how those sex scandals got. Since y'all want to be racist with me, Trump decided to, I didn't do none of that. Since y'all want to be racist towards me, Trump decided to expose it. Trump decided to expose y'all. Obama was watching me. Everybody was watching me. But I told the senators and the president, Obama, you need to step up. This is a serious matter that Dallas is lying and the mayor. This is a serious matter. I wasn't trying to start no war with the blueprint, but I wanted to let them know my knowledge of calling me out their name, my name. Let me tell you, we have people on TikTok and YouTube talking about they gave up on the system. You got to know the system. You got to be willing to step over bound with that system. When I sat in that line in that courtroom, everybody was calling the DA cricket and conniving. They just talking about it. And then they was talking about, I was telling them, start writing everything down. Start messaging the Justice Department. We don't play that shit. Hold up. Oh, if you get mad because I'm interacting with you and I'm telling you what you need to do and you say the DA cricket, why are you not taking action? It doesn't matter. I have a state lawyer and my state lawyer is not listening to me, but I still went over bond. Bullshit wanted us to be solid. Look how my state lawyers treated me. If I would have stayed silent, even though the senator know, things wouldn't have, progress wouldn't be as steady as we understand it. What caught my attention, they started talking about their tax dollars. And then he started telling me about my family. That's what caught my attention. Hubert, HUBERTSELERS. Y'all steady not want to work. Y'all steady not want to compromise. These people that's coming here from Dallas, they're not coming from here, and they trying to steal from me again. Honesty is not being given on the table in its format. Racism and honesty is not being, I don't know if these cops was born with racism. I don't know all of those things. Whatever happens, happens. But God say, for that, it have consequences. Every time they stop me, every time they try to put a weapon on me. You call the police dirty? I know every time I step out my thing, I don't have nothing. Let me tell you, when I was in there, Dallas County last year, 2023, 2022, and last October, this lady, the judge, I had no mind. This black lady was being very aggressive with me. She telling me, shut up, I even knew that. And I said, hold up. We should create a motion fine against a judge, where a judge gets fined $10,000 and your state attorney allowed to file that motion for that fine. Even though we can't file that motion, they should pass a bill where your lawyer will get half of that money and they will get fined for that money. Your state attorney will get half of that money, and they will have their own card, their own bonus card, where that money is going to come at that when we file a fine motion against the judge. Everybody's not being. Let me tell you what I heard. Let me tell y'all something. Because I want y'all to know something, because when I was sitting in line, a judge told this other person, I don't see everything that you see, that we got stuff on here. The DEA is not allowing you to see everything. And the lady trying to read me, the black lady trying to read me my rights, and she telling me to shut up and doing all of these things, and I know what's going on. So I take whatever's going on from this situation, from that situation. I take whatever's going on from that situation. I just got to keep my eyes open. I take it for whatever's going on in that situation, and I take off that. But she tried to read me my rights, and I try to understand. Look, you're being aggressive with me as a judge. And I told the state of Texas, and I told the Justice Department, look at the behavior from the black lady and look at the other behavior. Even though I was sitting up there getting very emotional at the time, I stood up and she stood away, but she wasn't aggressive with me. She handled that judge handled that with respect and dignity and nice and all the rest of that. And I think you got to respect her for that. You got to respect her for those things. But I said, look at the behavior between the black person. And I realized something. I had to be calm. And I'm looking at the camera and I'm doing this. And I say, I'm looking at the camera and I'm doing this. And I'm looking at the camera and I'm out the door when this lady being aggressive at me. I said, all eyes is on me. To win this fight, I have to be calm to win this fight. And I know when I walk out that door, the way I act, even though this lady's being aggressive, I still got to show a little bit of, little steady at her head to win this fight. And I had to win it because they watching me. And I say I know this, and in my mindset was like, let's be calm. The way I didn't do the security guard when they didn't want to give me medical help, and I told the Justice Department, that guy, I realized when I was in a medical tank, he came and checked up on me. And he in a new position. And I watched him, I said, I recognize you. When the security guards would treat me bad, I recognize you. And he's working for the squad, I recognize you. And I said, hold up right fast. Since I know this guy right here, and he stood right there out of that medical tank, and he was a security, I make sure, let me sit down and listen to him. Because the security guards would treat me bad. And he came in and that, make sure I had a hot shower and make sure I had everything I need. And I recognized him and I sat down and I said, hold up, I got to thank you. Because I seen you in 2019 watching me and make sure I had a shower and had the things I need. Thank you for that. And I was like, hold up. In Dallas County, I was like, hold up. And this guy threatened to throw me back in, and I said, I don't have no problem with you because I recognize your face. Just like when I was working for Walmart, and my old employees when I was a kid came in there, this big guy, he from Big Lots, he watched me as a kid, and he didn't recognize me, and I had to tell him, you don't remember that as a kid when I was in special education, and you came in there, you was working with me? He said, now I remember. He started looking. I said, what's up? How you doing, man? And he's like, because I was working at Big Lots. Like, I was actually, when I was in school at Newman Smith, when I started hanging out with a thing, and when I was hanging out to school with them, I was still in school. I was going to elementary schools, People in Carrollton, Texas by Perry. I was hanging out with the kids, bringing my game, and even that, and all the rest of those things. We had a good time over there at the elementary school, and I still have a relationship with Patrick and Norman Cavlick and Emily Cavlick. And I remember Patrick when he was a little kid. I remember Patrick showing this thing when he had with Chuck Norris. Patrick loved it karate. You know, you know, my mind go farther than we might not be talking to each other right now, but my mind go farther just not hanging with them at their house. My when they went to that elementary school by Perry, I'm handing out nachos. I'm in PE class with them. I'm watching, I'm doing stuff with Emily Cavick and Nerman. And they was at that Walmart in Addison. And I'm doing all of these things with them. Nerman can say what they want. We can talk shit about each other. We can do what we want. But let me tell you something. They know I used to chill with them at the elementary school. These kids know if they grown up now. They know I used to get in PE class when I used to be at Norman Smith. We had co-op. We didn't spend all our time in the classroom. And I surely didn't spend my time hanging with them, mirrors and them where I can going to Creekview for summer school and just going there and going to school on a Saturday and we having garage sales at Norman Smith. And we doing all of these things. Y'all didn't want to hear my story. Y'all was so busy getting y'all story out there. But I'm going to Brookhaven. I went to Brookhaven. When I was in school, I was going to Brookhaven College, but they didn't have more of the academics. We took ceramics, we took photography. We went to Northlake College. While we in school, we go to colleges. I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit later. While we was in school, we go to college, but they didn't have the academics. You know what I had with some of my customers in there? And this is when I was off the clock. And the lady name is Linda because she got the same name as my auntie that died. She said, Hubert, these people are not putting money into special education. Let me tell you what I'm going to tell Governor Abbott. This teacher at Brookhaven College, he's a beat producer, and he make beats. You know what he did every semester? He set me by his classroom. Every semester, and I'm going to tell Governor Abbott when I message him today, he didn't judge me. He didn't did none of this. They lied. Governor Abbott didn't do nothing. Yellow Breeze and them lied to say somebody called to be a, let me tell you what a rapper can do. A rapper can switch stuff up. Nobody's as big as Yellow Breeze. I already know that when I got in that situation. I already know that when I got in that situation. So the thing is, when I called DJ Envy, I was in pretend. I hung up so fast with DJ Envy manager, and I hung up and I told him I got a blueprint. I wasn't willing to calm my words down and just able to let him listen. I think that's what created the problem with DJ, and that created. I hung up in his face quick. And that would created the problem a little bit more in that situation. That would created the problem a little bit more with DJ Envy manager and them. Because I hung up and I didn't give them time to talk. And I think that would cause the confusion a little bit more with the situation. And he told me to have a good day. And I called the mayor's sister because I know about a business. You get $3,500 for each of your songs and you promote. And Trapboy Freddy said on the Yo Gotti song said, I be goddamn if I read on a rap industry track. No, from one apartment to next, my seed was already planted. Listen to one of the girls that say, what you gonna do with all that money when you got that car? Listen to all of those things. But the world the people want, it's about a lot of cutthroats, a lot of deception, there's a lot of other things. When I try to tell the people in Dallas County, you can't be real with them. Oh, you cut the DA in their office. No, the prosecutor. I'm not going to lie on the DEA and say they offered me something. It's about how they did it in that car. It's about how unprofessional they was. And they didn't come correct. They had an informant in there. Me and this guy, you already know that he was in the firm, but I'm hearing him at 2 1 o'clock. They on some racist shit. They so busy trying to come up in Dallas, they'll lie and sacrifice somebody else's life. And lying, I had this informant in that. Me and this guy, he do artwork, even though we had our differences. But he was like, this dude, I mean, him at 12, we're gonna have to let him go. We don't got nothing on him. I said, hold up. And then he gonna talk about you didn't prime me a damn. I picked up books. And then they wanted to know the book that I read. Let me tell you, they got a book about networking that I read in the Carrollton Library. It talks about it got Walmart, it got the White House. It talks about how everybody networks. It got Walmart, it got Bill Gates in it. It talks about the network screaming about everything that was in it. When I was picking up the George Bush Senior book, and when I was in Farmers Branch and Mary Grimes in Farmers Branch, and I was staying at a hotel, and his lady, his daughter was running track. His daughter was running track, and he said George Bush didn't have that much to offer. George Bush and them senior had discipline, even though the domination was in control, and everybody the belief system. Right now, we're going through belief system. One thing I told my mama this, and I told her, evil wants to bring us down. But we got to have that steady income where evil wants to bring us down. And we have to, my seed is planted. It's been planted. I said in 2019, when I got out of Dallas County, I said, hold up, man, Rick, I had to tell Rick, go into Texas music office. You talk about warranties, U.S. warranties, when you're taking people to court and you talk about those things, contract writing. And I had to be like this. I had to really be like something where I don't work for them. I don't answer to nobody. I don't answer to nobody. You think I answer to somebody? You really think I answer to them? You really think that I really answer to them? No, but y'all don't know how to have a good time. Y'all want to do violence and punch and kill and this and that. I don't answer to them. And one of the people, they say, I'm not telling on nobody in the conversation and the one in there with them in there, because I don't work for nobody. But to clear up these liars in this city, you having the government, you having them doing all of these things to take care of boosting them lies. You having them to do all of these things. For me attacking the Social Security situation, because they know I want to chase my dreams. And they know I did it the right way, but it's still people that they don't give a fuck. We realize they don't trap, they don't give a fuck. We realize that they're going to be a threat to. I told Joe Biden, and I told since y'all been watching me, knowledge is power. I told the Civil Rights and Justice Department, you think I had it easy? When y'all go to my TikTok videos, when I'm doing other artist songs, you're going to see a side of my spirit that you haven't seen. You know why you seen that side? The people that worked with me at 12, because I was being intimidated and being racial profiled by Doug Miller employees. The intimidation, 5 people on the left, 5 people on the right, and Charles telling everybody on that situation. The reason why 2 or 3 years after I started Progress with 2996, all right, let's show them what I can do. So I rated to put Neo. I get Neo from 2996, and I get Jessica in there. And I wanted to have that moment to tell him off. And I just wanted that one moment. That one moment, I was going to let it be. That one morning when he tried to bash me in front of everybody in orientation, I wanted that one moment after he seen the things that I can do in the consistency. I wanted to rub it in his face after he tried to embarrass me like 12, 16. That one moment, I wanted to have that one moment in that room. And I'm going to tell Dick McMillan, so if they didn't want to listen to me, I wanted to have great communication because it's all about great communication, right? So it's about the communication. I tried the communication me. The mayor, Doug McMillan, the corporate office, is all about communication and us listening to each other. So when I tell the Justice Department, what I tell them after 2 or 3 years, I'm showing a steady pace at Walmart. I wanted to put it in his face at the time, right? I wanted to put it in his face at the time. So I went there, and after everybody seen the consistency, and Chris had 2996, and I'm gonna tell him, Chris said, Hubert, I get you to do this job. He was a co-manager, and I was so mad that he left. And he said, Hubert, I get you to do this job because I can know it, because he know he can depend on me, and he got me to do tasks. And he said, Hubert, I know I can depend on you. And I'm gonna tell him that relationship that me and Chris had. And I'm gonna tell James, when me and James got from the other Walmart, because this got something to do with everything that's going on, Trapboy Freddy. And I hope you can hear me out, but I'm not gonna fall for it until I get me. I'm going through a battle through Walmart. I'm going through a battle. God said, I know this fight was gonna be hard. I know this fight was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard. So I just filed the civil rights complaint again and talking about how they stole my ideas, because I want them to really, the Justice Department, and tell me on other social media, do you want your phone contacts to connect with your social media? And it tells you that. So if I'm calling Walmart corporate office, it's the same thing with Facebook. It's the same thing with Facebook. It tells you, do you want your Facebook contact to connect with your social? I got about a lot of tablets on my hand. And it tells me all of those things. And Walmart corporate office hold my ideas. And they stole it. I told everybody yesterday, they called me, he's selfish, the rap industry. All right, I got one tablet, right? I got one tablet, right? I got one tablet. I got to think of everybody. I got to think about everybody in church in the city. Every kid. If I want to get with Orion and tell them, Orion, hold up. If I want to get every kid tablet in the church in the city, I got to be like, hold up. Let's do the numbers. Let's see how many people we got. MO3 tried to do the same thing, pass money, and other people complaining. We got to get everybody's shoe size. When you're doing the event, you got to do everybody's shoe size. What shoes y'all wear? What shoe size? Just don't go out there and start giving things and this and that. You have to get everybody. That's just going to start conflict. So if I think about giving a tablet to one kid, that's going to start conflict. I got to wait till my money get up more. I had no problem talking to church in the city around. I had no problem getting up there talking to him. And he said, God said been using me. God been using me. I wanted to tell him, God been using me since New Orleans. Fantasy Williams. He know what I wanted to be more. And every time my band director, they turned into elementary school. They got this kid that went to jail for smacking a girl and peeing in her mouth. And this kid that was in the same band at Fantasy Williams in New Orleans. And he, every time I was all beat, And he got me on the beat. And he said, Hubert, listen to the beat. When we marched in the parade, and he said, listen to the beat. You know, I watch my history with people in Fantasy Williams in New Orleans Middle School. They fucked a girl under the tree and they went to jail. And I come back and talk to them one day and I ask them, hold up. It just happened at Fantasy Williams a long time ago. Well, I did that to them. Say, Hubert. Everybody was like, bam, bam, bam. Darlene was going there, Baby, a white girl. Everybody was going to Fantasy Williams. And everybody, I used to watch the Block Burners and I found out I wasn't supposed to be in high school. Even though I was in Metairie in New Orleans, they had to, and when I got my records, and they said, this shit is not adding up. You know, my records from New Orleans. This is not adding up in New Orleans. This is not adding up in New Orleans. And I went to court. When Lawayne stayed in the apartments, I got stabbed. When Squad Up and them staying in the apartment, this girl used to stay in the apartment where Lawayne and T Screech them were at. And this girl brother came and checked up on me after she stabbed me. And we went to New Orleans court at that time. We went to New Orleans court at that time. And it's all about politics, right? And Dallas, see, it's all about struggling what you go through, right? So when Lawayne used to sit in an apartment and used to sit in those apartments and all that, and me and this girl, I didn't know how to swim. After I got stabbed, my friends in my apartment say, Hubert, they took me from the little water and they took me from the highest water and they taught me how to swim with my cast on. And they taught me how to swim. And ever since then, when I go swimming and do everything, I know how to swim. I remember we broke into the vending machine. And we all had a snack machine in the East apartment. And we broke into the vending machine. And everybody in the apartment shared. And we kept that box in that hallway under their stairs. And we kept that box. I used to act like Stone Cold and Rock. I got Darlene on there. Darlene on one of my Facebook. And Plucky them and Baby. I surprised Baby didn't go to the NFL. Baby was tight and plucky. And Wardell used to stay on the West Bank when I go to Birmingham. And I used to step on all 51 states when I was in Birmingham. When I was in Dallas County, I seen something. God said, when you used to go to church, you stepped on the 51 states. In New Orleans, by the Birmingham Elementary School, you got the playground, you got the gym, by the basketball court, you got the little fence on the side, you got the grass. And I remember getting caught in the school one time before in New Orleans, West Bank. And I remember getting caught at the library. And my teacher, the same day, the security guard came in there. And he was like, Hubert, he came to my class. He was like, Hubert, it's going to make it mighty stupid that you are being caught in the library on the last day. Why you just couldn't wait? You went to school the damn next day. He came to class, but I'm not going to tell your teacher that you got caught. You got caught in the outside of the building. You're going to say you were standing on outside. The security guard. And he on Berman. Because the other friend, he went in the thing to try to get his phone. And he said, Hubert, I'm not going to let your teacher know that you got caught in the library. Me and my friends also at the park, we got caught. We used to go to construction site and we used to mess with the equipment and all the rest of those things. I was just talking to my dad. Like he said, they got worse. I've been at my last update was since I've been in New Orleans since 2011, I think. My sister and them down there. My sister and them down there, and when my dad is in New Orleans, my auntie, everybody's in New Orleans right now. And everybody in New Orleans right now at this moment. And all of that stuff. So You know, I found out they turned Berman, Fantasy Wood to elementary school. My band teacher used to always be on my ass. And every time I act up in class and I don't listen, he put me under his desk. And I had to stay there for morale, and I had to stay there. But this situation is different. Okay, this situation is different. And I remember one time he got on me for taking my siblings home. And I remember how hard he'd been on me. And I remember those things that Fantasy Williams, and I take that lesson from how hard he'd been on me, and understand why he did what he did. To understand, to make it more of a discipline for me. And I understand why he did what he did. So to understand, like when I get whooped, and I understand, I told my brother, my grandma used to whoop me hell as a motherfucker. But I understand to see this world out here, because people can just harm people and kill people for disrespecting them. These older cats, there's so much crime going out there, and these little kids getting shut up. When I was at the gas station in Addison, and me and this kid was talking, and me and this person was talking, and I think my child was in there at the time. I don't think he was there. He was saying, he said, some of these kids don't got no respect at the gas station. My brother was actually working for them at the Chevron station. We're actually working for him, coming to do stuff in there. My brother Dominic is in Dallas right now. He talked to people. When I sat there, I had a person that knows me before I left Dallas County. He knows me. Sorry, guys, I gotta shave you. And I'm gonna tell my stepdad to cut my hair when he get home. So, because I don't got a barber. To cut my hair when he get home. So, with that situation, with that, you know, I didn't always spend my time at that situation. Y'all didn't want to let my story get heard, and y'all smiling with everybody trying to come up. I told everybody, since the prosecutors want to play, right? And I have to give the senator time in the community, the racist community, and people lying. And I say, let's have everybody, every kid, look at every video camera in that mall and get that DEA agent that was there in that mall and watch me in that entrance, his badge in that mall. Let's watch him. Let's watch him there. Let's tell him to be in the courtroom. Let's tell him that Mexican FBI, DAE, let's get him in there. He think I didn't see him rubbing his head and having this FBI uniform, undercover uniform on. Yeah. When act normal when somebody see you. And act normal when somebody see you. Or something, you wasn't acting normal. I look you dead in your spirit. I gave you contact, and I know who you was in that mall. The moment I walked in that entrance and I saw that badge, I know who you was. HUBERTSELL, get money, stay out the way. Hubert Sellers, this type of HUBERT. I am legend. Y'all gonna see all of my things. Baby legend, Hubert L, get money, stay out the way. I've been networking. They know I've been communicating. Trump know I've been communicating. You messing with conflict. Now, the senators now got to clean up Boosie mess and the lies mess in the streets. Not even the problem. Either Dallas can get on board, they can keep leaving me in this situation, or I take my shit and walk. And since the problem got worse, I'm willing to take my my justice that I get from Brahms, McDonald's, and buy a fucking house up in Paris. I don't have to stay here and take this shit. But it's too much of lying going on in this situation. Honesty is not being given on the table. Now, my mama did not listen. You know what I said? I messaged that civil rights leader. Every time a lie be told to my mama and she sitting up there believing the bullshit, racism against a disability. Every time you're not coming at correct, every time that state attorney and that prosecutor ain't coming at me correct, and you lied to me in my face, I'm going, God said, we're going to hold you accountable. And the man, you think he can just get away, right? God said he can. I said, you care about his life just because I'm still a child of God. And God is telling me in the spirit to stand up against you. Corruption don't own this city. God said, I own this city. And I put everybody in power. It might have gang members that own this city. No gang members that believe in God. The way in the blood, he believe in God, right? But let me tell you, I don't know that much about the culture. Wayne, I don't know that much about the blood and Crips culture. You can't. We have section in New Orleans. We have sections. We have 9th wall, 8th wall, 7th wall, 5th wall, 4th wall, 3rd wall, and we have section, West Bank, Uptown. We have those things. We don't have that. And I think when I was buying that Birdman and that Bun B album, Lil Wayne album, everybody said you pumping that old cash money. That old cash money can get you back to where it's at, and it can tell you about the industry. Old music ain't nothing. Shit, I was looking for my squad up shit in there. They don't even have my squad up in Texas. They got Drake music and they got everybody else's music. They don't even got my squad up in there. My mixtapes. They need to start having mixtapes on there. But I'm not the problem here. And these people getting with things that they don't know, and everybody catching the attitude. Look, I'm asking for what's been taken from me. And you're trying to do it again by racism. People coming here in Texas, never want to put everybody because you're racist. And I want Ben, I want Buds for you. I won't do none of all that. I want Ben for racism. Let's talk about what was called. I'm not starting it. This was already started. The character library, everybody dumb. Everybody don't know what happened in that character library and what these dumb. Let's talk about what we saw. We already know when I passed that, when I was in Dallas County, these girls passed me. Everybody not going to do me something. Everybody not going to know me. And then what they were trying to figure out, the owner, the warrant. They were trying to study me and they think I didn't know to see who know me. Everybody not going to know me when I was in Carrollton, Texas. Everybody not going to know me. I have no problems with these girls. They were trying to, you were studying, asking them if they knew. You think I didn't know? Oh, the one, who was on that phone? Who was on that phone that was checking up on me? And his dumb ass don't even know that y'all need to stay there the whole day to see what's going on. Who was on that phone when you said nothing was going on with him? Who was on that phone? Who's on that phone? You think I didn't notice that? Hey, Dallas, who was on that phone that government worker was talking to, not the security guard? Who was on that phone to check up on me? And y'all can't see everything. That's what I want to know. Who was on that phone? When that white, who was on that phone? So let me tell you something. God said you can put out all the music you want. But I promise you this. Anything happened to me and my family, and we're going to talk about that spirit in that car because she acted jealous. I saw her spirit in that wallet then. I saw her spirit in that car. I saw jealousy in that car in that head collision. Intimidation in cars was happening. I know everything that's going on in this situation. The God said, the more you carry out threats, the more you act up in your cars. The reason why war rage happened because they're able to attack the mindsets. And people trying to say you crazy, the mindsets are being attacked. They tried to break my mindset down. And they think I don't know. I say, who had their eyes on the quarterback? Who had their eyes on the quarterback? Who had their eyes in my vicinity? And that's what they're going to be looking for. Just like on Madden, you can go overboard. I play with Tom Brady, and you go on the Madden and you play on the game. The vision, who going after the quarterback? Their job is to protect the quarterback. When you're on that other side of the field and they're trying to get to the quarterback, who is the quarterback? That's their job, to protect the quarterback. And the wide receiver job, the other team, to give the quarterback enough time. Either he going to run with it or he going to look for the wide receiver. That's enough time for those things to give that quarterback enough time to see what he's going to do. Who's the most valuable quarterback? And we got to realize that when I'm telling the Justice Department, who tried to attack my mindset and tried to break from security guard, who tried to do those things? Camera is not everywhere. When we're going to tell Miss Brooke when she was tunting, that camera in that middle spot was not there. And we're going to talk about those things. May the 17th, gang members was laughing at me, right? That they getting away. They think my situation is going to get it. No, God say, hold on. The reason why you think they don't want to let me go is not the reason. Go listen to y'all so busy paying attention to the streets. Bam. Pimp C said these labels don't want us to figure out nothing. Go watch Pimp C. And Pimp C know what I know. Pimp C would have called them out. I'm telling Bun B, don't let his legacy. I told my stepdad he's from here. Pocket full of stones. I've been heard about Bun B, Will Webby, and Birdman album. She was a 569-pound battle broad. I ain't seen her in a minute. Trap boyfriend, you talking about running trap, doing cooking up stuff. And I'm sorry that I have to talk about this. I just want to have my women cooking up dope and all the rest of those things and cooking up these things and all the rest of these things. No, you're gonna have a computer in each house. You're gonna get an education. You're gonna know the system. You're gonna have these things. Each of your rooms you're gonna have. You're gonna have your room. You're gonna be able to